In the Economic War Room, we will continue to cover new topics like space warfare, 5G phones, the Internet of Things, and technology to secure our borders. Every one of those topics and dozens more offer investment opportunity. The key is to have an advisor help you sort it out. There can be a beautiful future ahead for our nation and for astute investors like you. So how do you locate an advisor willing to break from the norm and work with you to weaponize your money? How do you find an advisor who understands that China's working against us, or Mexico, or Europe, or the economic war at home? How do they fit all this in? We did a pilot training program not long ago to see if advisors would be interested in learning how our national security integrates with protecting clients from economic warfare. We're thrilled that we had 2 classes. One was Bartlesville, Oklahoma at Oklahoma Wesleyan, and the other was at Hillsdale College in Washington, D.C. at their Kirby Center. We trained some of the best advisors in America, and we brought in some of the top experts in banking, the markets, military, intelligence agencies, and they met, they interacted, and they discussed how they could protect and help clients prepare for what's coming.
One fellow reached out of the blue in about 08, 09, Kevin Freeman. And Kevin was hired by the Pentagon to study this. I didn't think there was even a name for economic warfare. I'm not even sure it was called that back then. But to study this field and to figure out, it was a group within the Pentagon that studies irregular things. And this is all in that Times of London article. And they hired Kevin Freeman, and Kevin sort of came across my work, and we started talking. It was amazing to me that people couldn't see it until then. But Kevin, it was the first honest man, practically. And when I finally had this long conversation, I think you were driving across Oklahoma or something. We talked for hours the first time. And he had figured out all this stuff on his own. So you're really getting the first string here and a fellow who can think for himself.
We plan on restarting this training course and conducting them virtually from this Economic War Room. If you already have an advisor that you'd like to have go through this training, send them to economicwarroom.com/training. If you'd like to connect with an advisor who's already been trained, check out NSIC.org. This is the website for the NSIC Institute, which stands for National Security Investment Consultant Institute. The Institute is a gathering place for like-minded advisors to connect, to share ideas. It will also be a powerful force for good in America when these advisors represent billions and eventually trillions in client assets. Now, we always try to end up with something powerful, inspirational, and beautiful. We're talking about the need for advisors, and I came across the Bible verse written in Proverbs chapter 24, verse 6. It reads, "Surely you need guidance to wage war, and victory is won through many advisors." That fits pretty well with what we've been talking about. So I searched a little further to get an inspirational story based on that specific verse. What I found was in an old copy of Guideposts. It's the story of a discouraged corn farmer who was about to give up on his life's dream. The young farmer for 20 years had been trying to come up with a better type of corn for popping. He was turned down time and again. No one wanted his Red Bow popcorn. No one was willing to pay double, even if it was better. There were already something like 80 brands of popcorn on the shelves. Discouraged, this farmer was about to give up and start planning something else entirely. But he picked up his Bible and thumbed through it till he found Proverbs 24:6. "Surely you need guidance to wage war, and victory is won through many advisors." The farmer prayed about it, and then he sought professional guidance. He took his last $13,000 and paid a marketing expert to learn how he could sell his special corn. All they told him was, change the name and change the packaging. Why did that matter? And they wanted him to name it after himself. He didn't even like his name, but they didn't even come up with a new name. But he believed the Bible and he gave it a try. He took the same corn that he'd been rejected dozens of times, put it in a new package with his name on it. He took it to Marshall Fields in Chicago, and the executives there went wild over it. They loved Orville Redenbacher's gourmet popping corn. And the rest is history. With many advisors, plans can succeed. This economic war room is here for you. But to win this war, you'll need guidance. That's why we've started our advisor training program. Don't forget, you can get your free copy of this episode's Economic Battle Plan at economicwarroom.com. This is Kevin Freeman from the Economic War Room.